Yo, what's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the new MLB The Show content. I feel like I definitely have to talk about it because I think this is probably the best content drop of the year, in my opinion. But before we take a look at all the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn those notifications on, leave a like on the video, and in the comment section below, let me know what you thought about this content and who you're going to be using from this insane content drop. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at all the new content. If you guys watched the last video, you know that I have partnered with Shaolin Trading. Shaolin's one-on-one program taught me how to trade stocks for myself. And because of that program, I've been able to become successful trading. And that is a huge reason why I get to do what I love to do, which is pump out videos for you all. So if you're searching for a skill that not only generates income, but also offers a more flexible lifestyle, then do yourself a favor and check out the link in the description below. Make sure you use code REBEL for a discount. And if you have any questions, make sure you message me on Twitter/X, or you can also reach out to me through email, pitchingrebel1@gmail.com, if you have any further questions. All right, let's go ahead and grow Shaolin together. Before we take a look at all the new content though, make sure you hit me up on Twitter @pitching_rebel or through email pitchingrebel1@gmail.com if you'd like to learn how to make endless stubs. I'm currently sitting at almost 4.6 million stubs, and as if you can see in my lineup, I already unlocked Lance Berkman. I have the new Brooks Lee. I have everything there, and I'm still sitting at 4.6 million stubs. That's because I know how to make endless stubs by using the marketplace, and I can teach you to do the exact same thing if you let me. So make sure you hit me up on Twitter @pitching_rebel or through email pitchingrebel1@gmail.com if you'd like to learn how to make endless stubs and have whoever you want whenever you want. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at all the new content. First, we're going to start off with this top style 92 overall Clark Schmidt. He's going to have 102 hit per 9 and 116 pitching clutch with 80 K per 9, 77 walks per 9, 79 control. He does have a cutter, slider, knuckle curve, sweeper, sinker. So it has a cutter, sinker combo. The only thing I wish he had was a changeup instead of that knuckle curve. The slide and the sweeper are fine, but I wish he had a changeup. But this for 92 overall is a very good card. He has really high hit per 9 and really good pitching clutch. Probably one of the highest hit per 9 and pitching clutch for a starter in the game, and he's only a 92 overall. I mean, and you can get him grind 99. You can't really complain about this. Very, very solid card. Can be in a lot of rotations, honestly. Then we have 92 overall tops now, Christian Moore. Primary, second base, no secondaries. 88, 86 versus right. 104, 100 versus left. 100 clutch. 76 fielding. 69 speed. Another very good card, in my opinion, for a 92 overall. This is a usable card as a 92 overall. You can't complain. The first two cards have been really good in this Spotlight program. And then the final drop was Arenado's card. He hit his 350th home run. So they gave him a Spotlight card for it. He's going to have 100 contact versus right, 90 power versus right, and then 107, 102 versus left, 103 clutch. So the clutch is slightly lower than his highest contact rating, but not by much. 92 fielding with 43 speed. So he has diamond defense and very good hitting numbers. Get him to P5. He ends up at 105, 95 versus right, 112, 107 versus left, 108 clutch. It's double PXP weekend. You can get him up in the parallel program pretty damn quick. That being said, another grind 99 card that is a very good card, Arenado. He might not have the hitting attributes as good as Vladdy and Scott Rowland, which I do think are the two best hitting third baseman attribute-wise in the game currently. But Arenado, 1, his attributes are not far off, and 2, he has an elite swing. I think he has the best swing out of all 3 of those guys. He has a really good swing, so his attributes should play higher than what they are. And then quirks-wise, he's got home body, unfazed, breaking ball hitter, and situational hitter. So 2 of the 5 quirks that I love to see. Yeah, Arenado is a very damn good card. Let's go ahead and talk about the June Spotlight Pack cards. We're going to go ahead and start off with the base tier, or whatever you want to call it. The 92 overalls. We got Braxton Fulford, catcher, primary, no secondaries, and he's going to have 93, 80 versus right, 108, 96 versus left, 109 clutch, 73 fielding, 71 speed. That's pretty good speed for a catcher for sure. Hitting wise, he's not bad, man. I mean, 98, 85 at P5, 113, 101, 114 clutch. This is a very good 92 overall card. Not going to be an expensive option by any means. So again, tip of your cap, SDS. The first few cards that I've looked at, they've all been pretty good cards. They're all usable cards. Then we have this 92 overall Logan O'Hoppe, 86, 95 versus right, 102, 108 versus left, 98 clutch, 75 fielding, 61 speed. Another card that's a 92 overall and is a usable card in my opinion. Is he better than the full 4 card? No, but he is still a usable card. You know, if you're an Angels fan and like Ohapi, he is definitely something that you could throw in your lineup and not be worried because he's got some decent hitting attributes. Then we have Brady House. Primary shortstop, primary third base, shortstop, secondary, 103, 88 versus right, 175 versus left, 105 clutch, 84 fielding, 61 speed. Another card that's a very usable card is a 92 overall. These cards are starting to look a lot better in my opinion. So right now, SDS, I am tipping my cap. These are some these are some very good cards for 92 overalls. Then we have Spotlight Jose Soriano, primary. Then we have starting pitcher spotlights. Then we have a starting pitcher in Jose Soriano as a Spotlight Series card. And one of the he's one of the 295 overalls in the pack. 106 hit per 9, 109 pitching clutch. Just off rip, seeing that there. Has very elite hit per 9 and pitching clutch for a starter. Some of the best in the game currently. 90 K per 9, 70 walks per 9, 70 control. So the control is not very good. Let's look at his pitch mix. Sinker, knuckle curve, slider, four seam, and then splitter. Throws a pretty hard slider, and he does have outlier on the sinker. So there's that. Obviously, if this card had a cutter, he'd be insane. I don't think he'd be. I think he's definitely a very viable option for the rotation currently in the game. Is he a choice that I would go with? No, because he doesn't have that cutter. But I could definitely see people use him, and honestly, I'd like to face him to see if he's kind of glitchy. Also depends on his release and stuff. If it's glitchy and hard to pick up, then that's also going to be a bonus there for him. And then this 95 overall Brooks Lee. He hit 333 with 12 RBI and a 19-game hitting streak. Primary shortstop with a second base and third base secondary. Love to see that. We know how scarce they are with the secondaries this year. Let's look at him. Switch hitter, by the way. And 125, 107. Just that off rip, you're like, holy smokes. But then, is he just one-sided? No. 119, 76 versus left. Sure, the lefty power isn't the greatest, but, you know, at least he can get above 80 power. At P4, he gets up to 80, P5, 81. And then he also has a 120 clutch. This guy is damn near what Willie Castro is, pretty much. And he's a switch hitter as well, but he does have a secondary at second base. He is damn near Willie Castro, just a little bit less power against lefties. That's all it is. But the contact rating actually ends up better versus both. The clutch is going to end up at 125 at P5, and he does have a lot more power than Willie Castro does against righties. Fielding 68 though, so bronze defense at short and bronze defense anywhere else you put him at without any parallels. Once you get him in P2, he'll play silver defense at short, still play bronze defense even at P5 because he only gets up to 73. The deduction is too much to get him to silver defense anywhere else. I don't care though. This guy is a guy that's definitely going in my lineup. This is a very insane card in my opinion. I mean, at P5, he ends up at 125, 112 versus right, 124, 81 versus left, 92 vision, 125 clutch. I mean, hitting wise, he is one of the best middle infield options in the game, especially as a switch hitter. Never going to have the platoon disadvantage, and he holds his own against lefties. Even though his power is a lot less versus lefties than his righties, he still has good enough power in my opinion. So again, all these cards that are in the Spotlight program have been viable options, and then you have this Brooks Lee that's absolutely insane. Next, we'll talk about the Prime program, and starting off, you're going to have this 92 overall Jesse Chavez at 20 stars. He's going to have a cutter, sinker, circle change, four seam, and slider as his pitch mix. He doesn't throw the hardest, but the sinker cutter combo is good there. Changeup as well. He's going to have elite control as well. Small bars. 107 hit per 9 and 121 pitching clutch. That's elite. 92 K per 9, 96 walks per 9, 73 control. Doesn't have outlier or anything like that. But again, pitch control, 85 on the cutter, 92 on the sinker, circle change, 65, force. Ooh. So you have his primary two pitches, very good pitch control. After that, it's 65 or lower. That's not good. And then pitch break, 99 on the cutter, 81 on the sinker, circle change as at 75, 84 on the four seam, sliders at 62. So is he an option for the pen? Absolutely, because he does have the sinker cutter combo. But I just have to see how good his control is. And again, he doesn't throw very hard, so you do need elite control to be able to use him. So I was expecting him to be a little bit better with the control, but it is what it is. Not a bad option, especially it's a grind 99 card. So not like you're losing out on anything by just grinding this program and having him. Then you're going to have a Prime Mike Cameron, center field, primary, right field, secondary, 85-80 versus right, 182 versus left, 90 clutch, 87 fielding, 88 speed. So hitting is not that good. This is one of the weaker hitting cards in this drop so far that I've seen. Is it a bad option? No, but is it an option like the others? No, either. So if I had to rate this card, probably be like a C. Yeah, I'll just give it average, a C. We got this prime Charlie Morton. He does have a four-seam curveball, sinker, cutter, splitter. Wish that curveball was actually like a sweeper because I mean, I know it's a curveball in real life, but really wish it was a sweeper because the movement he has on the curveball is insane and it doesn't emulate it in the game. Doesn't have any quirks. 94 hit per nine, 108 pitching clutch. So good hit per nine and good pitching clutch. 84 K per nine, 82 walks per nine, and 79 control. Let's look at the pitch control. 83 on the four seam, 99 on the curveball, 68 on the sinker, 86 on the cutter, and then 62 on the splitter. So sinker and splitter, good luck trying to spot those up. Pitch break though, four seam has 99, curveball 99, sinker 95, cutter 64, splitter 99. So every damn pitch is 95 or better, 3 being 99 breaks, and then you have that cutter just out of nowhere has a 64 break. That's not good. He's definitely a viable option in my opinion to use in the rotation. Now, giving him that sweeper would have made him that much better, but not a bad card, especially as a grind 99. I'll still grade this out to be a B+. Then we have this prime Salvador Perez, primary catcher with a first base secondary, 92-90 versus right, 90-100 versus left, 97 clutch, 81 fielding, 40 speed. So pretty good hitting, especially for a catcher. Would end up at 97-95 versus right at P5, 95-105, 102 clutch, 86 fielding, 45 speed. I mean, Salvi always has an elite swing as well. Very damn good swing. Quirks wise, he's got a few too. So very good card in my opinion, especially a catcher. Grind 99. You know, we have a lot of good catchers so far in the game, but I don't really know if there's a good catcher that you could just grind out and get that I can think off the top of my head. But Salvi is definitely one of those. And again, his swing is very good. And then you have this Richie Sexson as the final card. 93-106 versus right, 93-101 versus left. So pretty even throughout with his hitting. 97 clutch. The clutch is higher than both his contact ratings, 70 fielding, 41 speed. Would end up at 98 contact versus both at P5, 111 power versus right, 106 versus left, 102 clutch. I mean, Richie Sexson, not a bad option by any means. The only thing is he is 6'8". His swing's pretty good in my opinion, but he is 6'8", so that's a lot of zone to cover. And for the type of hitting attributes that he has, I don't think it's good enough to justify using him because he is 6'8". So you got a lot of zone to cover. Is it a bad card? No, I'd say it's like a B-, but again, you have to factor in the fact that he's 6'8". All right, so that's the program. But you know there is a pack because there is a new collection for the prime cards. So let's go look at the pack cards. We'll start off with the base round. We got this 92 overall prime Raisel Iglesias sinker, slider, four-seam circle change. He does not have outlier on the sinker. 102 hit per nine, 108 pitching clutch. So pretty good hit per nine and pitching clutch. Not like that elite tier that we see with the relievers that we currently have in the game, but it's still very good in my opinion. K per nine is 105, and then he does have 82 walks per nine and 84 control. Raisel kind of throws a little glitchy too, so he has a nice, glitchy release. Tough to pick up. Got 94 control on the sinker, 86 on the slider, four seams at 82, 75 on the circle change, not bad. And then pitch break has 72 on the sinker, 99 on the slider though, 90 on the four seam, and 88 on the circle change. So again, his release is kind of funky too. So it is always a tough to pick up Raisel Iglesias cards. So I think he is an option. He's going to be a cheap option for the bullpen too. So he could be using the pen. I don't see why not. Hal Newhouser, prime series, four seam, sweeping curve, changeup, slider, two seam, very basic pitch mix, no outlier. 90 hit per nine, 90 clutch. That's good, but the problem is with Hal Newhouser is that he has a very basic pitch mix. He doesn't throw funky at all, and he's never really a card that you see in anybody's rotation because he's not that good. It's simple as that. We got this prime Robin Roberts, four seam, curveball, sinker, slurve, changeup, 85 hit per nine, 90 pitch clutch. That's just not going to do it. No outlier on the fastball or sinker. It's just not going to cut it. Sorry, Robin Roberts. Nobody ever uses you. We got this Bill Mazeroski, and he's going to have 92-75, 95-70, 95 clutch, 92 fielding, so diamond defense at second, 60 speed. Is he a terrible option as a 90? No, he's not like terrible. Probably like a C+, I'd say. Nobody really uses him. He's just a card that's always a binder filler, and that's what he is for this card, but it's not bad by any means. We got Louis Aparicio, 86-52 versus right, 90-60 versus left, and 90 clutch, 91 fielding with 94 speed. Aparicio is always very high speed, very good defense. Just the hitting is just never there. And just like that, this card is not usable. We got a Jim Cat, new legend. Slider, curveball, sinker, slurve, screwball. Very weird pitch mix. A lot of funk there. 93 hit per 9 with 95 pitch clutch, 80 K per 9, and 81 control. I know he throws kind of funky too. Is he usable? No outlier on the sinker. I don't know if he would be really that usable, but he does throw a lot of like weird breaking pitches. He's got the screwball and whatnot, and he has kind of a glitchy release. So maybe he can be kind of funky for a few innings or so. I don't know. Haven't really fit. I faced him I faced his TA1 card a little bit and you just have to get used to the release, really. That's all it was. He doesn't have anything overpowering. We have a prime, Michael Young though, 94 overall, shortstop primary, no secondary, 112.75 versus right, 113.75 versus left, so evened out power and pretty much contact. He's got 115 clutch with a little bit higher than his highest contact rating, 80 fielding with 56 speed, so gold defense at short. Very good hitting shortstop, and he has gold defense as well. That's a solid option for sure. He ends up at 117, 80 versus right, 118, 80 versus left, 120 clutch, 85 fielding. I mean, you can't really complain about it. Michael Young always has good hitting cards. I personally just don't like his swing, but this is a A tier, even maybe I wouldn't say S tier, but definitely an A tier shortstop currently in the game. We got Tommy Pham, 93.85 versus right, 111.85 versus left, 100 clutch, 81 fielding with 78 speed. He is a left fielder with a secondary at center field. And his hitting's not bad, and Pham has that slap swing that Gil Hodges has, so it's quick and glitchy. Ends up at 98.90 versus right, 116.90 versus left, 105 clutch. So big time lefty killer and still pretty damn good against righties. Again, very good card. Then the last two rare round cards, we got a Terry Pendleton prime with a third base primary and no secondaries. Switch. We know that Terry's a switch hitter, new legend in the game. 108.75 versus right, 120.70 versus left, 125 clutch, 82 fielding, and 67 speed. So gold defense at third, decent speed for a third baseman, and he's a switch hitter that has really good contact versus both. The only thing and maxed out clutch. The only thing that I could say is this Terry Pendleton's lacking is obviously in the power department. But I will say Terry has a very quick, glitchy swing. Plays above his attributes. I used his lower overall card and it played above its attributes. So with him having a little bit more pop, I think he'll be fine. Sure, sometimes you might get dead batted with him, but I think that overall he should play fine. And then last but not least, we have this prime Jason Varitek, 95 overall. Catcher primary, no secondaries though. He's got 96.82 versus right, 114.95 versus left, 101 clutch, 79 fielding, 48 speed. Switch hitting catcher. We add to the switch hitting catchers. We already got an Adley, we got a Posada, we got a Carl Santana. Now we have a good hitting Jason Varitek. Varitek, I used his lower overall diamond card, and his swing is actually elite. It's one of the better swings in the game, honestly. And his hitting is pretty good, honestly. I mean, even without any parallels, it's good. But at P5, he ended up at 101, 87 versus right, 119, 100 versus left, and then 106 clutch with 84 fielding. I mean, gonna end up at gold defense behind the plate. He's got a decent arm. Speed's not terrible for a catcher. 48 speed, ends up at 53. Could make an argument that he's definitely a top 5 catcher in the game currently. Is he better than Adley? Not really hitting wise. He's not better. Adley's, more even across the board. And then Posada, he's pretty much the flip of Posada, right? Posada's a righty killer, has over 100 contacted power versus righties. And then against lefties, he slacks a little bit. Then you got Varitek, who's the opposite, right? He's a lefty killer. Still good against righties, but it slacks a little bit. But it is better than he is better technically against righties than what Posada is against lefties. Because Posada at P5, I have him. He's like around like 92, 93 contact versus left with I think it's like 85 or 86 power. And then you have this Jason Varitek, who's 96, 82 versus right. So right off rip, his contact is higher than my P5 Posada against lefties. Ends up over 100, and then the power ends up at 87. And then again, he is a lefty killer. Clutch is about the same. I think Posada is like at 105 or 104. You got at 101, ends up at 106. So, I mean, honestly, Varitek, you can make the argument he's a little bit better hitting card than Posada, but Posada's got an elite swing. So does Varitek. Adley does have that. Adley does have that push hitter tendency as a a left-handed hitter, which kind of makes it tough to turn on pitches. But I mean, I guess Veritek could be a fun card to use. I've been using Posada for a while. I just can't take out Posada. He's one of my best hitters. And then at least I'm still good with him. I don't know. It's just tough. I do want to use this Veritek because his swing is very damn good. And we got the new Chase Pack card in second half. Trey Turner, primary second base with the shortstop secondary. And we know how Trey Turner cards are. Elite swing, always plays above his attributes. Does he have any quirks? He does a few. He used to have a more, but still has a few. Homebody, night player, first pitch hitter, breaking ball hitter, and table setter. He's got 100 contact versus right, 75 power, and then 116, 115 versus lefties. Absolutely lefty killer. 117 clutch. So elite clutch, and then crazy against lefties, and still can hold his own against righties. 76 fielding, so silver defense over at second base. And then 99 speed at P5. He does end up at 105.80 versus right. 121, 120 versus left. 122 clutch. And then his fielding will get up to 81. So gold defense at second base at P5. And again, the speed's at 99. So, you know, he's going to swipe some bags for you. And then last but not least, we got the 2 collection cards. Collect 8. We got an Ian Kinsler prime card. 90-80 versus right. 104-90 versus left. 100 clutch. 86 fielding. 90 speed. So great speed. Great defense at second base. And then the hitting's not bad at all. At P5, he ends up at 95-85 versus right. 109-95 versus left. 105 clutch. Pretty good hitting, honestly. And he has that glitchy, you know, slap swing like Gil Hodges has. You know, quirks wise, he's got quite a few of them. Homebody, night player, first pitch hitter, dead red fighter, situational hitter, and bad ball hitter. I mean, this is not a bad Ian Kinsler card by any means. Now, is he the top tier like second baseman that was like released today? I would still take Trey Turner over him. Definitely would put Brooks Lee at second base over Ian Kinsler. So, but I mean, again, it's not going to be too expensive to get him. It's only collect 8, and he still has decent hitting numbers in my opinion. And then last but not least, we got the prime Lance Berkman, 96 overall, right field primary with first base, left field, and center field secondaries. Let's look at him. New legend added to the game this year. 110, 105 versus right, so absolute righty killer. 180 versus left. Still, you know, flipping over to the right side of the plate. He is a switch hitter. Not as good as against righties, but still can hold his own, especially once you get him up higher in the parallel. A 109 clutch, you love to see that. Pretty much the same as his highest contact rating, 78 fielding and 65 speed. So he'll end up at gold defense at P2 in right field, and he's got decent speed. I think he'll play a decent outfield, honestly, for us. I don't think he's going to be bad out there. P5, though, he ended up at 115, 110 versus right, and then 105.85 versus left with 114 clutch. I mean, 83 fielding, 79 arm, 80 reaction with 70 speed. And you got, let's compare him to Bryce Harper. Why not? So I do keep in mind, we have Bryce at P4, right? 110 contact versus right compared to 114. So they both have the same contact rating because at P4, 114, they're both going to end up at 115 contact versus right. So there you go. 100 contact versus left for Berkman, 104 at P4 for Bryce. So they have the same exact contact rating. Power, you got 105 compared to 111. So Harper ends up at 112 power as compared to 110. You're not really having that much more there. And then Harper ends up at 98 power versus lefties at P5 compared to 85. Sure, Harper takes it there. But yes, Harper has quite a bit more power. You know, it's going to end up with plus 12 more at P5 when both of them get there. Only thing is, though, you know, yeah, sure, he has 98 power, but Harper is a left-handed hitter compared to Berkman is a switch hitter. You're not going to have the platoon disadvantage at all. So that is the new content that just dropped. And again, it's an absolute banger, in my opinion. A lot of good options that we can have in our lineups now. So SDS, great job. Keep it up. This is the content that we need going forward. We are already almost in July, and this is exactly what we needed. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn those notifications on. Leave a like on the video, and in the comment section below, let me know what you thought about today's content drop and who makes your squad or not. All right? Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Love y'all. Peace.